Welcome to the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Wednesday, September 14th. Over the next several days, we'll continue to have tropical moisture push north across the Great Basin with wetting rains, thunderstorms, and cooler temperatures. The heaviest areas of more widespread wetting rains today will be over eastern Nevada into Utah, and then on Thursday, similarly, but it might push a little bit further north up into Idaho and Wyoming, and then on Friday start to exit the region. Otherwise, around the larger area of more widespread wetting rains, we are expecting those wet thunderstorms, localized wetting rains, or at least some low-end wetting rains for most areas, and higher humidities. Looking at our near-surface smoke forecast for the next 2 days, very little change with smoke coming off the mosquito fire in California affecting western Nevada. However, our fires in Idaho will certainly be quieting down with the moisture, so it won't be producing quite as much smoke. Similar conditions aloft. Looking at the precipitation over the last 24 hours and thunderstorms, significant precipitation covers most of the Great Basin, not quite as much on the far north, west, and eastern side of the basin, but definitely heavy wetting rains over southern areas and up north into northern Nevada and Utah, and even into southern Idaho. Even much of our large fires up in Idaho got at least low-end wetting rains, if not 1 to 2 tenths or higher. Lightning was extensive over much of Nevada yesterday into western Idaho with more isolated activity into Utah. Great Basin fire activity yesterday was very light with only 2 new fires reported for less than 1 acre. Over the last 7 to 14 days, again, that moisture has been mainly tied to the southern areas, but this does not take into account what occurred yesterday, so certainly we will see these areas increasing to above normal for the time of year once these products catch up. ERCs, as of yesterday, the moisture already moved up north into Idaho. We saw ERCs decline significantly to around normal, but these will continue to go down over the next couple of days as moisture remains in place, even if it's just higher humidity in some spots or some areas will get wetting rains. Similar conditions further south into Nevada as well. 100-hour fuel moisture has responded nicely and is now in the 6 to 10% range in the far north with only a couple of pockets less than 5%, but again, this will continue to go up as well. The satellite loop from this morning shows a trough of low pressure in place along the west coast. This is helping to funnel that moisture north. Today we might see a little bit of a break in moisture up north across Idaho with more sunny skies this morning, aside from any smoke in the area, and then more isolated thunderstorms, but we will see that moisture move back up tomorrow. So again, for today, the more extensive moisture will be across eastern Nevada into Utah, and possibly up towards Wyoming. Our significant fire potential map has certainly changed dramatically over the last couple of days, and now most areas in the little to low risk of large fire. Relative humidity also elevated in all areas except for western Nevada. We will see relative humidity above 30% almost region-wide and just below 20% in the far west. Winds will be somewhat breezy across parts of western Nevada and into the south areas of the Great Basin, but again, with recent moisture or ongoing moisture, really not much of a concern. For our large fires in Idaho and northern Nevada, generally winds on the lighter side. The thunderstorm picture for this afternoon. You can see, obviously, the most congested areas of thunderstorms over eastern Nevada into Utah, a little bit more isolated activity up north today. As we move into Thursday, that next slug of moisture moves north into Idaho, so we will see increasing moisture tomorrow, and also our significant fire potential continues to go down. Relative humidity remains high with the exception of the far west, and winds remain breezy in the south, but generally light for most of our large fires. The thunderstorm picture, moisture shifts to the northern half of the Great Basin on Thursday, so again we will see an increase in showers and thunderstorms again for Idaho and Wyoming, and continuing into northern Nevada and northern Utah. Winds, very similar. Going into Friday, we will see lingering moisture in the north for more widely scattered showers and thunderstorms, but that deeper moisture is starting to lift off to the northeast, still low fire potential region-wide. Relative humidities on Friday will again remain above 30%, but we will see some of that drying still continuing in western Nevada, but also starting to materialize over southern areas of the Great Basin as that moisture gets pushed further north and east. Winds will remain light to moderate. Thunderstorms on Friday, again mostly to the northern half of the Great Basin, and these will still be on the wetter side with areas of wetting rains, but again continued higher humidity. The 3-day forecast amounts of precipitation are shown here. Obviously, you can see the eastern two-thirds of the Great Basin. Most areas see at least some wetting rains, with the best potential for the heaviest wetting rains from northeast Nevada into northern Utah, eastern Idaho, and Wyoming, but also back into central Idaho. Going into the weekend, we have a stronger area of low pressure dropping south along the west coast. The models are having somewhat of a difficult time handling this low. It looked like it was going to move right over the Great Basin. Now it's looking like it might drop a little bit further south, just along the west coast. But in any case, we will see kind of maybe a lull in the moisture over the weekend for the Great Basin with just some cloud cover and drier air in the far south. Then as we get towards early next week, depending on the track of this low, we could see that moisture increase again, especially towards Tuesday, Wednesday across the northern half of the Great Basin. So this could potentially bring another round of showers and thunderstorms to the northern half of the Great Basin, keeping that significant fire potential low. The 7-day total amount of precipitation, more precipitation expected again going into next week over the northern half of the Great Basin, but that will largely depend on the track of that next low, so we'll be watching that closely. The 8 to 14-day outlook from September 21st to the 27th shows near normal temperatures and drier conditions heading later in the month. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back tomorrow for the latest updates.